Picture this. It's the dawn of 2024 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now, envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2024 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2024.
Welcome to another Thursday morning with the Legends to Leaders. This is a fantastic program, and today what we're going to do is continue what we were talking about last week. And that was actually creating a storyline for yourself to tell yourself and remind yourself who you are, where you're going in your life, and what you're going to do. So today we're going to carry on with that, and I'm going to shortly show you a video of something that Daniel has put together. And it's something that I would encourage all of you to do. Create this type of video in order to remind yourself who you are and where you're going and what your vision is. But before we do that, I'm going to ask Daniel to introduce himself, and then we'll go and ask Wilhelm to introduce himself. So Daniel, please introduce yourself. Over to you.
Good morning, guys. Welcome here. And I really hope that you are going to get some amazing strategies. And my name's Dan. I'm an international creative marketing coach and world-class speaker. I'm rising up, and I really want to see a bunch of people rise around me. So I'm all the way in Johannesburg, and I plan on traveling all around the world, just doing what I do, and that is to do the thing that I was called to do. So it's a pleasure to meet you guys, and thank you, David and Wilhelm, for having me. It's going to be a great session. I just know.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome, Daniel. Great to have you here. Wilhelm, good day to you. I believe you've been really busy this last week with clients, which is fantastic. And thank you very much for making your time available to come and join us this morning. So would you like to introduce yourself and maybe just give a little bit of an idea of what you're doing at the moment? Over to you.
Good morning, David and Daniel. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be here with you guys. Yes, I think this is going to be an interesting chat today. My name is Wilhelm Lombard. I'm a life energy coach and peak performance strategist. So for me, it's all about energy. I always say if you don't have the energy to do anything, you can't do anything. So you need energy. Your tank should be full. So I focus on helping people to perform better personally, interpersonally, and professionally. And if you ask me now, what do I do with companies? Now, this specific company, again, they are in manufacturing, they got all the technology and everything, but there's a lack of energy and commitment from the staff. So that's what I do. I help the staff to get more energy, to change their attitudes, and you can't believe what just a few sessions with them already have done in the company. So it's enjoyable, and as Daniel said, that's my passion and my purpose in life, to really help people to energize themselves, to be the best performance and the best people that they can be. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Welcome, Wilhelm. Great to have you here. Thank you very much. So now, last week, if you recall,
I just want to say something to Wilhelm quickly.
Oh, please, go for it.
That's a quick one. Have you ever heard the saying, because every time you talk about Wilhelm, I think about this, but it says where focus goes, energy flows.
Yes.
So I just remember that now, and every time I hear him speak, I just remember, and it's so important for us to remember that whatever you put your focus on, that is where the energy is going to flow. So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there. Sorry, David, you can continue.
No, very good. Absolutely. And this is basically, just continuing what Daniel just said, where your focus is, where the energy is flowing, is the other way around. So now, obviously, what Daniel's done, and I really take my hat off to him, he's actually put together a video that actually encapsulates who he is, what he wants to do, and what he wants to achieve. And we're going to show it to you shortly. And the idea is that you go and do the same. Now, last week we spoke, Wilhelm spoke about vision boarding. And vision boarding is really important. And I've done my vision board together with Wilhelm. Actually, I've actually attended about 3 of his workshops. And what he does is he basically energizes you and teaches you how to actually go along and use the old method, which is, I think, still the best way, is to actually go through magazines, page through them, and suddenly you see something. Oh, yes, this is something that I would like to do. And you create the picture. But then you actually go along and paste it on a board and you create your vision board. And then the idea is to go along and put that on behind you. I've got a few here. I don't know if you can see them. There's one over there, and there's another one over there. And these are vision boards that I've actually created and in actually Wilhelm's workshop. And when I look at them, I can see, wow, yeah, I'm actually starting to achieve some of those things. But the power of a vision board, let me just give you a quick one on this. I was, some time ago, and I'm talking about a few years ago, I put together a vision board, not with Wilhelm, this is a long time ago. I put a vision board together and I put it away and I kept it in a cupboard. And then I took this vision board out after a number of years, and I started looking at it, and I suddenly realized that I had a picture of a car in my garage. And at the time, and I put a picture, not of my car, but a picture of a car that I wanted in my garage. And I suddenly looked at this picture and I realized that that car is actually in my garage. Can you believe it? So this is the power of vision boarding. But now what we've done is we've taken a step further, with the digital world and so on. And what Daniel's doing is he actually helps you actually create your own vision board through a digital format, through video, etc. So I want to play Daniel's one. And you can see the power of this, because what Daniel does, and he actually were at a workshop yesterday, networking group, Success Academy. And what he actually did was he went along and he met someone new. He took a photograph of himself and them. He loaded that onto the phone. He added their number, and then he WhatsApped them the video. And I thought, wow.
Picture and the video.
Yeah, the picture and the video. So now suddenly that other person knows who they are, where they met, and has a video of what Daniel's aspiration is. So before we carry on, I'm going to show you the video. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, let's go for it. Okay, let's go.
Who am I? Some people would say I have a unique character. Others would say that I have a wild imagination, but definitely a positive spirit in the marketplace. My true title is this. I'm an international creative marketing coach and world-class speaker. I believe that you must empower the people around you to succeed in their calling. I achieve this by offering personal or group marketing coaching. I also offer AI and marketing workshops every 6 to 8 weeks, which are usually sold out. I have also created an online marketing course that teaches people how to do exactly what it is that I do with AI and video marketing with multiple strategies. I also have a fast-growing network. I invite entrepreneurs to all our speaking and networking events in Johannesburg. If you're interested in what I've presented, let me know what grabs your attention so that I can send you more information. Thank you for allowing me to take of your precious time. May Jesus bless you.
So there you have it. A really little powerful, really good. Maybe Daniel, you can talk a little bit around that, why you put it together, and what it actually does for you and for the people that you share it with. Over to you.
Cool. So what I've learned is we really do learn. We live in a digital world. Everything now is through digital and video. And it's one thing when I spoke many years ago, and I said to people, listen, everything should be video, everything should be musical, everything should be live. the analytical people obviously not understanding it, and now we see that the world we live in is much more digital. And like the funny story yesterday, when Shoal asked me, do I have a business card at Success Academy? I said, no, I don't do business cards. And he was like, not impressed with that. So when he was doing his speech, he was actually saying how important it is to have a business card. And I completely agree with him. But for me, again, I just realized, you know what, digital business cards are a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's like $1,000 to get like 500 printed. It's admin to carry them. Now, yes, they do work, but for me, they just personally don't work. It's a waste of time because people forget who you are. They forget what you do. Now they've got a card, and I'm sitting as I mean, if I had to empty out my bag now, it's all these cards I've collected. I don't know if I'm going to get back to them. To be honest, I'm possibly bad with that. However, what I decided to do is once I meet someone, and I'm still going to create a video that says, "Hi, we've just met," and then they'll see my video, and I'll remind them I'm the marketing coach guy, I'm the world class speaker, and I'm giving myself those titles because that's how I envision myself in the future. And behind me here, this is my vision board. So like here on my couch, when I'm relaxing, reading the Bible or whatever, I can always go review my vision and dreams. When I'm praying, I always review it. Now, the thing that I'm trying to teach people is some people don't have bucks for a website. Let's be honest. They don't understand how a website works. They don't know how to build one. And it costs a lot of money nowadays. People don't necessarily have bucks who are starting out to have business cards. So what I decided to do is let me make a video. Let me be the product of my brand. And I start to, as I connect with people on LinkedIn, I send them that video. As I connect with somebody at a networking function, I send them that video. And that video tells them who I am. They can see that I'm a man of faith. They can see who I believe in, what I believe in. And it, for me, is easier. Because let's be honest, when you leave a networking function or you leave a seminar, people have forgotten who you are. If you're not the main speaker, most people just see your picture. They don't know who you are. So it's nice to remind people, hey, this is me. This is what I do. And that's really where I got my inspiration from to do that is I don't want to be forgotten. Because if I'm forgotten, it means I never made an impact. If I never made an impact, I'm not going to have sales. I'm not going to have leads. I'm not going to be remembered. So I want to be remembered. I want to be the guy that say, yeah, that's the video guy. That's the marketing guy. That's the speaker guy. And that's fine. So that was my motivation for doing it.
Yeah, from my point of view, I think what you've done is fantastic because what you're doing is you are actually motivating yourself all the time to actually be that person. And what you said earlier, where your focus is where it all happens. So I'm going to ask Wilhelm maybe just to talk a little bit about that because Wilhelm does amazing stuff regarding actually energizing you with a feeling. And actually, Wilhelm's got a story around feeling, and I'm going to let him tell you about the feeling and having that feeling, because if you don't have the feeling, what's going to happen? Wilhelm.
Oh, thank you, David. I don't know what story you had in mind there. I got so many stories. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, what I love about this video, or let me first say this, if thinking from a life energy perspective, people really lack energy nowadays. There are so many things that drain their energy. And previously, we had this idea of you actually... You need to get the energy flowing from people, but it's all about that adrenaline rush. If you can get that right, then it's powerful. But we must remember that people are actually... Lots of people are already in burnout stages. That their petrol tanks are sort of empty. So they need energy, but they need really some positive energy. The way we sometimes energize people is by emotions that put them in a fight or flight state. So that drain energy. And if you really know what it's all about, certain parts of your brain locks down, switch off, so you can't get it, but you get that adrenaline rush. And sometimes people think that's quite good. But I think the new way of marketing yourself, we really need to encourage and in our brands, be much more positive, give them positive energy, the well-being of people, thinking of them. They must have a good feeling. And I looked at this video now, and I love the video because there's some good feelings in that. And you can see there's some positive energy. It's very important that when you brand yourself, that you give that energy to people, because they want it. They want energy. And that's why when you have a story, or maybe something that you email that you sent or whatever, I believe one should keep it as short as possible, but always have the energy in mind. How can I fill up a person's tank? Can that really help them? Because the other way around, as we used to do, to sort of tense people up, I think it's not. We need to change that. We need to change that today and really fill the tanks of people with positive energy, and not drain them when you sell yourself or your business or work with any customers. So it's a little bit of a mindset change, but I think that's going to be more and more important nowadays, because when people look at your script and they read something, and they very quickly they feel, no, this is draining my energy, I can't waste any more time on this, it's not, I don't want to look at it, it's too much for me. And that was the old way of marketing. I think we really need to change that, giving more energy than taking energy from people.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. What I liked about the video that you created, Daniel, is that you had that high energy. You came in and you greeted everyone, and you could actually see their reactions on their faces. They, wow, and they smiled. And there's that saying, if you smile, the world smiles with you. If you don't smile, they don't. And I think that's what it's all about. What I was referring to on the feeling side was, some people find that they have something that they want to do, but they don't feel like it. They don't feel like doing that specific thing. And it comes down to feeling, like, for example, sometimes I've got to take my daughter to school in the morning. I really don't feel like it sometimes, especially, she's a teenager, and she's, that at that stage of her life. I'm sure if you had teenagers, that stage. But, then you think, do I really feel like doing this? But I don't. But I have to do it. But there are certain things that one has a scenario of that, in work, and you don't feel like it, and you actually don't do it. And that's something that's, you've got to have that energy. Do you want to talk a little bit around that one, Wilhelm, about the feeling of wanting to do something or not wanting to do it?
Yeah, it's very important that we realize that feelings are much more powerful than rational thinking, your mind. I always say that you sometimes get this networking companies with great products. The products are excellent. The business plan is excellent. You really, if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you will become a millionaire. There's people, they show it, they are there, that is a fact. But why don't you do it? And the reason is that you just don't feel like it. And if you don't feel like doing something, you won't do it. Although rationally or on paper, it's a certain plan. You will succeed. There's no question about it. But you just don't feel like it. So I think that's very important to realize that our hearts, our feelings speak more to our brains than our brains actually speak to our hearts. So if we can get the feeling right, and a positive feeling, your feelings actually have everything to do with everything that you do. Your communication, for instance. If you are not feeling good, your communication will not be well. If your heart is not in a positive state and you don't have that coherence, then it's difficult to communicate effectively and so on. But if your heart is fine, if you have these positive feelings and your energy is right, then it is as if everything just flows. But we tend to live in the past with all the negativity and trying to survive, and we take yesterday and we start today with yesterday. We actually should, and that's where the vision boarding come in, where you see something that is not there as yet, maybe, but the positive things, and you play that video in your mind. And if you can make the vision board or the video, then it help you to see the positive thing. but really focus on the good feelings, the positive feelings. And the moment when you can get that right, everything can change for you. Your life can change, and your health, everything. It touches everything in your body. So that's very important to reprogram yourself, because we sit with this old program, this old operating system, and it's more about flight or fight or trying to survive. If you change that, everything can change for you.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts on this, Daniel?
So I'll give you guys what's I've honestly just been thinking is, if I just go back to what the Bible says, without a vision the people will perish. Now, for me, if I look at it, you have to create something that, you need to think, all right, you're in a marketplace, you got people looking all over social media, they are looking for something that is different, something that is unique. So my message to people is, what can you create that's going to separate you from everyone else? And the thing that really bores me is I go on LinkedIn and I just see the same thing with the same people. No creativity, no thought, no power pack words, no punchy words, no punchy titles. And I can really see that the people's energy is low. I can see that there's no motivation. And the first thing I look for is what really grabs my attention out there, because I'm a right brain creative. So in order to keep my attention, you have to really put something out there that's going to grab my attention. And my message to the people is this: what can you do for yourself that's going to separate you? So for example, like if you guys look at this background, I don't know how you feel, but I'm looking at it saying, hey, it's kind of aesthetically pleasing. So when you're creating something, think, how is this thing that I'm creating, how are people going to look at it? How am I going to be judged? And one of the things I do enjoy, and I say this humbly, but I am humbled. Some people would think you become arrogant. No, I'm humbled by the gift that God has given me, the creativity that I've got, and I put it out there. I'm humbled that it inspires other people. I'm humbled that people look at me and say, hey, that's a freaking awesome idea. I didn't think about that. And these ideas and strategies have taken me years to come up with. And can I tell you something? I don't want to keep it to myself. I want people to succeed. So what I'm going to tell you is, make that first video, even if it's you speaking under a tree, introducing your brand, business, or product. Put it on your vision board. I want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million rand or $1 million by the end of this year. How am I going to do that? Okay, these are all the thoughts. These are all the ideas. And go do that first video. Go create that vision board. I can't tell you how frustrating it is. I have people come to the workshop. They start off strong. They're motivated. They're inspired. Their energy is good. And then after a week, they go flat, because you know what? They allowed the thoughts to get into their mind. And it's like, no, the video is probably not going to work. The strategy's not going to work. And I'm going to tell you, that's just your mind talking to you, talking nonsense and lies. You need to go for it. So yesterday, while I was driving to the gym, the thought hit me, because I've been speaking to someone on LinkedIn who's actually giving me marketing tips. And he basically gave me some food for thought. And one of the things he mentioned was money back guarantee. And I thought, I never want to do a money back guarantee, because I know that my product works. But then what I thought of doing is, actually, let me put that in my marketing. And my money back guarantee is going to be, hey, listen, whatever you spend with me, if you've done all the things I've told you to do and it doesn't work, I'm going to give you your money back. Because then it shows that my methods and my technology or my apps not apps, my ideas and my strategies don't work. But I know that they do. So what I want to say to people is, no, be the authority in your messaging. Be the authority when you make the video. Get your testimonies. Start posting those testimonies out there and just start building a name for yourself. I hope I answered your question correctly.
Yeah, no, the thing that money back guarantee, I think that's a really good thing to do, because then you are confident in your product. But I want to just go back to our subject line for today, and that is the impact of micro entertainment. Now, the reason for doing this and the reason for showing that video was to inspire you to create something for yourself, that either using the normal vision board that Wilhelm does, or basically a video similar to what Daniel has done, to actually tell your story. and to actually go along and put it into a context that you can actually watch and motivate yourself. There was a gentleman I met at a networking group at Vision U 2.0 with Andrew Van Sale some time ago. And what he was saying, he did something different. He didn't do a video, or he didn't do a vision board, but what he did do, every morning he got up, he went to the mirror, and he looked in the mirror and he said, who are you? And what are you going to achieve today? Looking at himself. And then he would actually go through certain things that he wanted to achieve and say, I'm going to have this meeting today, and from that meeting it's going to be a success. And he actually spoke to himself about it. And he actually did self-talk. So there are a number of opportunities, a number of methodologies that you can use to actually motivate yourself, to actually have that feeling, to actually go and do stuff. And the advantage of doing micro entertainment in your own, for yourself, as far as, for example, a video is concerned, is that it's a reminder for you, but also for your clients about who you are and what you offer. Now, what we'll be doing is we're going to be organizing a strategy session that we're all going to participate in, and we're going to help you to actually create these videos and actually get those videos online so that you can actually do it. So between Wilhelm, Daniel, and myself, we're going to organize this. We still got to finalize the details, but it's something that we'll be doing together, and we'll be hosting this, and we'll be sharing this with you in the future. So you must keep online and keep on coming on Thursdays. Every Thursday we do this, and we're actually going to do something a little bit different as well. We're actually going to do a TikTok live as well. So it's now on the platforms that we're using at the moment. We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube and obviously LinkedIn. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something on TikTok. So I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe Daniel, you can talk a little bit around the TikTok.
I think, yeah, before I get into TikTok, what I wanted to say is I think people really genuinely should DM you, Wilhelm, or myself. Literally tell us, give us your details, and let us put you on our database that you can come to these events. Because what's nice about the workshops, the networking events, is you're out there live doing it. You get practical training. I mean, David, last night, when they asked who wants to be a tenant, you literally just put your wife's hand up. And next thing, your wife got to pitch her business in front of 50 people. So yes, I'm kind of awkward that way as well. I put people on the spot, and most people who say, no, I don't want to talk, I don't want to do this. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wilhelm, but you just push someone, and next thing they're doing it, and you help them to overcome that fear. So like yesterday, I did a video to help people. Anyway, that wasn't the question, but I just wanted to put it out there. Send us your information that I can add you, or David or Wilhelm can add you to our network, that we can actually invite you to these things. They funds, a lot of it is free, and you come and practice. And this is really how you're going to build your brand, product, or business. Now, the thing with TikTok is, yes, I do TikTok lives on a Friday night for ministry purposes. So the longest I've gone is 6 hours. I was quite amazed because, I mean, Wilhelm, you could probably explain why, but for some reason, when you're speaking and when you've got the attention of a room or an audience, it's just like something comes over you and you've just got all the energy in the world. There's something that happens when you connect with people that's amazing. Like even the Bible, Hebrews 10:24-25, it says to the believers, it says, don't neglect the gathering of the saints. It's so important. That's why in lockdown we lost a lot of people just started getting depressed, committing suicide. Their energy levels went completely down and their motivation. So the thing about TikTok Live, we're gonna invite you guys. It's so fun because it's more interactive. There's a lot of Q&A. We can invite people to speak. We can invite people to share testimonies. It's also practicing how you do. You also see at the end of the live, how did you do? How much attention did you keep of the audience? And this is really a great platform for you to grow as an entrepreneur, and to really see how you're doing out there. Because if you can't win online, you're going to struggle to win in the real world. However, I have found that you learn online to go into the real world, which is nice. So we're going to do that, and you guys should really be joining us. Don't just listen to us. Come and network with us. Get on the camera with us. Come to the workshops. Interact with us. Engage. Don't just come here and just learn. learn and apply what you are learning here. And I tell you something, it'll be a game changer. So that's what I have to say on that question.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be really exciting, and we've still got to set a date for that, but we'll let you know when it's happening.
Let's do Wednesday evening. I think I'm going to be free, so we do it from maybe 7 to 8.
We can definitely do that. I think that's actually a good time on a Wednesday. Fantastic.
And I'm going to come into my gym time, but let's do it.
All right. No, fantastic. Okay, there we are. We have a date. See, this is what it's about. It's taking action and actually doing it straight away. So that's what we have to do. Now, the big thing here, obviously, is what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to, in the processes that we're going to be doing, we're going to show you actually how to actually create these videos, how to actually take a little clip of something and put them together. And there are so many different programs out there that can help you to do this. But to actually get that energy right is what's really important. I'd like to, we're at 31 minutes, and I'm going to ask Wilhelm maybe just to talk a little bit about his vision boarding and what he does with that. And then I'm going to ask Daniel to talk about his digital vision boarding. And this is really about taking your vision and then creating a micro impact. Now, just to, what Wilhelm does during the process, when you've actually completed your vision board, you need to present it. And that's such a powerful process because that embeds it into you. Wilhelm, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Thank you, David. Yes, let's start at the beginning. In a sense, I always ask people, what do you want? What's your dream? And I often find that people don't know what they want. They pray, they hope, they wish for something better. And when you really ask them, what is that better thing? Then they don't really know. So that's very important to get your mind clear. What do you really want in life? And a good way to get that out of them is to say, but okay, don't think about any limitations now. Don't think about money or time limitations or whatever. What do you really want? And with that in mind, I asked them also, what's the reality? What's the reality concerning that thing? Because it's always good to know where you are. And there's realities. I want to become a lawyer, but I don't have the money to study or time or whatever the reasons might be. Okay, there's realities. Because we sometimes just look at the realities and that prevents us from really getting to where we want to go. And then the next step is okay, what action are you going to take? You talked about the action now. What action are you going to take to get to where you want? Because there's certain things. If I want to become a lawyer, I need to study for 3 or 4 years. I need to do this, that, the other things, save money or whatever to be able to get to what I want. But with this vision boarding, then we really, I always talk about the different energy tanks, your spiritual, your mental, your intellectual tank, emotional, social, work and finance. All that energy tanks must be also involved when you do a power vision boarding. It's not just pictures. It's about, listen, think about this different energy tanks. How are you going to energize or fill your tanks? For instance, thinking if you want to achieve a certain thing, but how is it going to impact your health, your physical tank? What is that? Can you do it physically, or do you need more strength, more sleep, this, that, what? Or if you have this vision, you will never sleep again. Well, it's unrealistic then. So when people start to put that together, and then cutting the pictures out of the magazines and opening their mind for things, it is as if their vision board is much more powerful because there's energy put to it. And you energize or you open up the flow from your different energy tanks. And suddenly it's a different ball game. And when people do that, it's unbelievable what they will achieve. And as you've mentioned, then afterwards, now the great thing about the vision boarding exercise and actually Daniel talk about that congregation, that group, and it's a matter of hearts are beating together, and there's energy that happens there. And the moment when people do things together, there's something different happening. Okay, and then afterwards they present it, and yeah, the power of that is to make the connections in your brain, to really to say, but this is what I see, this is my vision. And when you speak it and you hear it, and then you start to do it, you need to take it from the head to the heart to the hands, where you take the action and you just get and move forward. And it is as if, as you said, before you know it, the car is in your garage. It is as if things are happening. And you don't know before the time with your vision board, you don't know how, but the how will actually develop as you go through. So that's the power of the vision boarding, and to think really, what do you want in life? And don't let the realities prevent you from doing that. Take the necessary action and step to move towards what you want, and you will get it for sure. There's no question about it.
That's very, very, one of the things is, don't be very cautious about what you dream for, because you'll eventually get it. And that's something I've learned, be very careful what you ask for, because you will get that. And that's the whole thing about being negative. You get negativity. If you're positive, you get positivity. And that's what it's about. You attract like-minded people. Now, Daniel, can you talk a little bit about your vision boarding exercise that you do often on a digital basis?
Yeah, sure. If I may also, just something I'm busy sharing, something that's just busy like popping in my mind while Helen was speaking is, when you have a vision, you are going to become so great that you're just going to overtake people. And then it's very easy to become arrogant once you are there where you said you're going to be. And my advice to people is, you always need to have the attitude that if you have a vision, you are going to become great. You are. You focus on that vision, you pray into that vision, you work hard for that vision, you get the right people around you, you change your circle, your friends, everything. When you achieve that vision, this is just advice for the future you, is you are not going to ever think of yourself to be better than anyone. What you need to do is you need to take the people that are below you and you need to inspire them to that they can get on your level, because those people are going to become your friends and your greatest mentors and supporters. And I just wanted to say, just a word of advice, of encouragement is, if I look at just some of the things I've achieved this year, it's not, from a logical point of view, it doesn't make sense that a guy like me that, lost everything, that started again, would end up being remarried to a very beautiful woman who's successful, who's, got the top grades in her class, and it would make no sense that a guy like me is finally going to be in a situation where my events are sold out. I couldn't even get people when I had alcohol, all of the people to arrive at my house to use me back in the day when we had boats, jet skis and all that. And what I want to say is, I was what you would call loser mentality, loser material. I really had nothing working out for me. I really had my life in shambles, but I always had a vision that God put there, an idea of things that I was going to achieve. And it just seemed so unreal. And I went after it. And what I want to say is, it was the help of creating that vision board digitally. And what I'm going to say is, my tool is, I use Canva and I use Canva Pro. And the thing is, I looked at the future and I said, right, what is all the AI? I basically got AI to create it. And I said, let me just actually take one of the visions down that you can see it. Now I can always put it back, but for example, every single one of these video pictures is AI generated. So this is all the things I want to do in ministry, how I want to go and gather the lost people, how I want to get graffiti of the gospel. And I've done everything on Canva. Now, what I was thinking, and I don't want to take too much time because I know we've got to wrap it up, but I really genuinely think we should do a workshop, because there's some people that are just going to understand how to do what I do at ease, because it is young, fresh technology. Whereas there are some people who are going to be a little bit more technically challenged, who would prefer to do the magazines. I just prefer digital. But obviously, what I'm thinking is, let's have a workshop and say to people, all right, bring your magazines, your car magazines, your house magazines, travel magazines, fitness magazines, beauty magazines, and actually let's host a workshop. So, Wilhelm presents for 2 hours how to do it, the strategy behind it. I need the analytical strategy as well. I'm the creative, but sometimes I don't think, how am I going to achieve that goal? I don't think of the money part. And I don't plan properly. Yet I still have the vision and go for it. And somehow, what I've put on this vision board, I've achieved just 3 things this year. So I've got my sold out workshops. I've got my coaching fee where I want it to be. I'm now married, and I'm about to finish a course. It's called the Supernatural Course. And, these are all things that I only planned this year. Yet, we're in 5 months of the year and it already happened. So the digital, what I'm going to say to people is, once you have all of your digital pictures, you can then create a vision board video. And the vision board video is powerful because now you can either record yourself speaking, or you can get artificial intelligence to do this for you. There's so many apps that I can teach you guys. They're free. Canva offers it as well. CapCut offers it as well. CapCut is free. You can literally say, hey, David, this is all the things that you are going to do. And then you have all the pictures come up. And then it will say, Wilhelm, you are going to have this car by 2025. You are going to live in this house by 2026. You are going to do this every single day for the next 10 years. So that's the nice thing. You've got Wilhelm that can teach you the old school fashioned way, which is still very powerful. It's the way you do it. It's the way we've known how to do it for thousands of years. And then there's the new way of doing it, which is the digital way, which is sometimes frowned upon, but it works for me. But what works for me might not work for you. So that's why I think let's do a workshop and have different guys teaching you how to do it, giving you the mindset. And I think, what, 2,500 Rand a ticket, bring a friend. I think that is a good deal. I really think we should do this. And I really think you guys that are on here should say, you know what, I'm excited to do that. Let's do it. And it will be an ongoing thing that will empower people.
Absolutely. I think once you've got this in place, first of all, it's going to inspire you, but it's going to make it also accountable. And the reason why it's going to make it accountable is because what's going to happen is you're going to show this video off to somebody else, right? And in a year's time, they're going to say, what happened? Where are you now? And the thing is, it's going to make you think, yes, I have to do it. And when you wake up in that one morning and you don't have the feeling to do it, all you need to do is watch that video and say, I'd better get up and do it. Whatever I have to do whatever it takes. And that's what it's about. And it's up to all of us. We all have a choice. We can either sit back and do nothing, or we can actually do something about where we want to be in the future and what we want to do for our families, for our friends, our colleagues, and what do we want to do for our community, and what do we want to do with our nation. Now, as you know, we've got the election coming up. We all might be very worried about it, but we all have a choice. We have a choice to be who we want to be and where we want to go. So let's apply that. Let's learn about that. And what we're going to do, I'm going to wrap up quickly. I'm going to ask, please, if you're interested in what we've been talking about, if you like what you hear, if you like listening to the 3 of us here, please tell other people to come and join us. We do this every Thursday from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock. We actually do it we've actually changed. We've actually shortened it to 8:45, so it's 45 minutes. We've got 1 minute to go. And I would really like to just thank Wilhelm and Daniel for being here today, taking their time off to actually come and share some of their expertise and their knowledge. So thank you, gentlemen, and have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Thursday. And so I'm going to show the video quickly again of Vision 2024. What is your vision for this year? And are you going to achieve it? Or is it going to be the same as last year? Come and join us and change your life. Change this year. Change next year. Take care. Bye.
Picture this. It's the dawn of 2024 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now, envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2024 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2024.